Yeah. First and 10. We in the trenches. You like the water cooler. You be on the benches. Think your team better, but they lack skill. First snap, I lay your backs in the backfield. Your quarterback scared, I see it in his eyes. Sent that receiver in motion, that's just a disguise. My linebackers, they stepping up. Clog a hole, no letting up. Taking on no big blocks. On fourth down, we get big stops. My secondary is balling out. Your offense keeps stalling out. How many yards? Like none at all. Cause special teams come punt the ball and it's gone. And you never see me fair catch. I get a block and then I'm gone like a Learjet. My helmet on, pass strap.
Friday night. Now we're here on the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. Hunter Yancey here along with Shannon Allen and Terry Reinhardt. Gentlemen, how your week's been? I'm doing pretty good.
Doing well. Trying to
Terry.
finalize stuff that's in the future.
Terry.
Anyway.
Why? I can't believe that you're walking around with something that the museum lets you borrow.
Well, they did, and you don't understand. Them things are coming back.
Coming back? Flip phones?
Coming back.
Flip phones coming back? I'm not
Yes,
too sure
yeah.
about that one.
Yeah, like the vinyl records, you know?
Vinyl
Hey,
records? Yeah,
coming
they're making a
back.
comeback. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're glad that you're tuning in here again. This is the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. It's Friday night, so you know what that means. It's prime time football for the surrounding high schools all over America. Do most states in America do Friday night football? That's usually when it is on Friday nights, or do some other states maybe do it on like Thursday?
Yeah, and some Thursdays. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know around here, and that would be the only reason that you're listening, is we do Friday nights here. So I didn't know if that was somewhere everywhere. Turn on 4. There you go. All right. 4 is on. Is that him? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Now I
Okay,
can.
yeah,
I thought you
Now,
were 3.
Shannon has arrived.
1, 2. Okay. 4's on. Okay. We got it. It's this way. Okay. Okay. All right. We got it figured out then.
Well, we had the right person off. We did well. Good job, Hunter.
So Shannon, go ahead and say what you said again. It was they were on.
No, I said Thursday night, or talking about Friday night football. I know up north. The guy I was in college with, he played on Saturday morning and some Saturday afternoon game.
Saturday
and
morning.
Terry said on Thursday night.
Yeah, I can.
I don't know,
that'd
had
be
something to do with
very
the weather,
tough on a
maybe.
Saturday
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah,
Woo.
that'd be tough because of not only that, but if I was a player, I know that Saturday really is reserved for college football. I'd want to
Yeah.
watch college football.
And I don't blame that, but I mean, Saturday mornings to me is like replays.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When
Yeah.
you play
Yeah.
it back.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. But anyway, everybody does something different. That weighs in. Maybe your state is different from others, and
Yeah.
that's, high school football.
Well, I see, Terry, that you've got your tidbits
Yeah,
there
got
in
a
front of
few
us. So it's time to go
tidbits.
over for Terry's tidbits. Go ahead, Terry.
It is. Caledonia now, Minnesota, still leads the way. They won again last week, 63 games now in a row. Martinsburg, West Virginia, is still second with 51. And guess what? Tarboro is number 3 in the poll now with 38 straight victories. In North Carolina, Tarboro leads the way with 38, Weddington with 19, and 12 teams have 9 wins in our state now, and a few well down East Surrey, Statesville, Richmond County. So that's your
Did
tidbits.
Weddington win the state championship last year? They did, didn't they?
Yes.
Who was the team? Who was the last team to beat Weddington? I may be right on that. Who's the last team to beat Weddington?
Could be Crest.
Should be Crest High School.
Could be.
Yeah, it was.
And when you go back and think of that, I know Dennis and them, they love to hear last team to beat Independence was Crest. Before they went on a 109 game
Before they got
winning
good,
streak.
yeah.
So we've got games around the area that we'll get into. Let me just go ahead and say some of the games that we have on our channels. You can listen to on WLON 1050 AM, 107.5 FM. The Lincolnton Wolves traveling to play the red-hot North Lincoln Knights. On the Burns Bulldog channel, on our YouTube channel, RS Central was going into Burns to play the Bulldogs. On WOHS, or what is it, WAGY? Is that new?
WAGY is Waggy.
Waggy?
Is that Waggy?
Is that
Right,
Waggy?
Calvin?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'll do WAGY 1320 AM, 107.5 FM. and WOHS 1390 AM 101.5 FM, as well as the Shelby Golden Lions YouTube channel. The East Rutherford Cavaliers are going to play against the Shelby Golden Lions. On the Kings Mountain YouTube channel, Forest View will be traveling to play against Kings Mountain. And on WCSL 1590 AM 92.3 FM, Pine Lake Prep Pride are coming here to Cherryville to face the Cherryville Ironmen. Is that, when did we get to WAGY? Is that us or is that?
That's Gaffney, isn't it? Isn't that in Gaffney? Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Well, there's another place for you to catch the Shelby Golden Lions game tonight. I'll say that again. WAGY 1320 AM. And is that correct? Could you, the 107.5 FM is WAGY as well as 107.5 for WLON? Okay. All right. So we got that.
Cool.
Got that all figured out.
Well, I want to tell you something. As I'm sitting here and I'm listening to y'all and listening to myself, we are so clear. It sounds like I'm talking to myself right next to me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, you know, I want to thank Mike Griffin,
Like
the
in
guy
the
that's
back,
in
yeah.
here, for daggum setting us up
Absolutely.
on this. Hey, I'm telling you what, we're moving up in the world.
Moving up.
Calvin, daggum, spending a little bit of money in there.
Yeah.
I mean, he got so much underneath the ground, he finally pulled some of that up.
He realizes he
I'm
can't.
sorry.
He realizes you can't take it with you when
Yeah.
you're done.
He
So you
says,
might
"Well,
as
I
well
might
put
as
it all
well
in.
use it."
Might as well use it. And if Kevin, if you're listening, this is just for me. You know, people love looking at us so much on YouTube. They always like to tune in. We got to give them some nice HD cameras at some point. We got to make it almost like this is not just a radio production room, but a television production room as well. That'd be real nice, wouldn't it?
Hey guys, just want to mention, you mentioned the WAGY.
Yeah.
That they are added to KTC Broadcasting family. We now have a radio station in Forest City
There you go.
and Rutherford County, and soon we will be tying
City,
everything in together. So the folks up in Rutherford County will be able to listen to a lot of our programming and such as we cross, programs and such between what we do here and what they do up there as well. So I know for years they've been carrying East Rutherford High School football.
Okay.
And that's what we're doing tonight. We're kind of piggybacking tonight with East Rutherford and Shelby. So
Okay.
so looking forward to that working relationship, and just going to expand our coverage a little bit more, go up toward the mountains.
All
Right.
right.
Cannot beat that.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That is
So
good.
congratulations, of course, to all of us here at KTC. We're expanding. We're trying to take over the world as the new media conglomerate.
One
I've
county
told
at a
y'all.
time.
I have told y'all over and over. We're heard around the world.
We're heard around the world. That we are. Now, I know everybody's ready for us to get into the games around the area, but I just wanted to make sure that we went over what was on our broadcast schedule for tonight. But we'll go ahead and jump right into it. I'm looking at our FAR board. We got rid of a few of them. They're not really of importance for the area that we're covering. But this one is North Gaston is going to travel to play against Ashbrook. I'm looking to see which one of you guys has got the most papers in front of you right now. I actually have a few papers in front of me, thanks to whoever left these here. So I kind of look like I know what I'm talking about today. But yeah, I'll just go with Shannon. North Gaston is going to Ashbrook. North Gaston, they've struggled this year. So is this they're still trying to just put it together, or are they just kind of trying to play for pride right now?
Right now they're playing for 2 weeks because that's when basketball's going to start.
Okay.
Actually, both teams are. Unfortunately for Ashbrook, they had, I think a lot of people, they lost some seniors last year, a tough group of seniors. They said they could rebuild, and this year would be, they probably didn't have high expectations, but I think they might have had better expectations than what they've had this year. Had one win.
Last week?
Last week, that was their first win. North Gaston has one win, so they're looking for their second win tonight. They're playing at home in Ashbrook. I think Ashbrook and I don't mean this bad, but as bad as they are right now, I think they are a better football team than North Gaston. I think North Gaston's they just don't really have it this year. And I think Ashbrook, is, like I said, one-win team. You're not great, but you're going to be better this year. They got a kid named Takeem Bond. I think that's Ashbrook, but I think he's going to expand tonight. Is that right, Terry? Is it Bond? Takeem
I'm
Bond?
pretty sure, yes.
Yeah. So I think Ashbrook will win tonight at home, and I think it'll be like a 35-14 game. Ashbrook will get their second win this year.
And I'm also going to go with you, and I'm the same way. I think when Ashbrook come into this year, hey, high hopes. Maybe not 9-2 or 10-1 or something like that, but they're looking like 6-5, 7-4, a chance at the playoffs, but it's not went their way. They come in at 1-7, 1-3, North Gaston 1-8, 0-5, and I'm playing at home. I think that makes a difference, and I'm like you. I've got the same score almost. It might be the same score. Ashbrook 35, North Gaston 14.
I think North Gaston's going to give Ashbrook a pretty good run for their money tonight, but I do have Ashbrook coming out on top of this. Both teams really have a struggle to score this year, so I'm going to keep it close. I'm going to say 21-14. Ashbrook one touchdown win over North Gaston. Watauga going to Freedom. Terry, does Watauga fall, or is like this just continue to be a juggernaut?
Well, every time I think about this team now, I mean, I keep looking, what's Anderson Castle done? Every week now, I'm like, this guy comes in here.
Yeah.
He leads them in rushing, 1,492 yards. He leads them in passing with 22 touchdowns, 963 yards, 9.4 per carry that he averages, and 24.1 per pass. Passing, he is 40 out of 56. That's pretty good, But total touchdowns for him, his total offense, 24, 55, and 33 touchdowns just for this one guy coming in here. And he also punts for this team. And here's the funny part about this. All the games Watauga's played, they've only punted 6 times. So there you go. And he averages 32.2 yards a punt for them. So Coach
Good net
Hobbs,
yardage.
that's what I'm saying. Coach Hobbs comes in here 65-21 in his 7th season. Watauga's last week versus McDowell. Here's another funny figure that I found out last week. They scored 62 points. They had the ball for 13 minutes and 38 seconds. That's a lot of points.
That is a lot of
That's
points.
a minute and 50-some seconds per time that they scored. I mean, you cannot. I mean, I'm sorry. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's really
That's
good.
all I'm going to
Yeah,
say.
that's really
But tonight they play Freedom at Freedom on the road, but I don't think it makes a difference. I think Freedom might give them a little bit of run, but I think Watauga's defense is really good. And I'm going to have Watauga winning 42-24.
Yeah, I think Watauga, they as good as Castle is, they've got a great offense, but they got one heck of a defense too. And they've only given up, I think they're averaging, if I'm not mistaken here, they're averaging, 8 points a game, giving up 8 points a game.
But
So go ahead.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, but you're playing a Freedom team.
Yeah, you're playing a Freedom team that's pretty good, and Freedom's in that tied for second spot. They're still in the hunt for the conference. If they win tonight, now you're tied for first. So I think, but as Watauga's just the cream of the crop right now in this conference. Freedom does have, and I was trying to think of his name, and I forget it again, the quarterback going to Navy. He's going to the Naval Academy, and it's, I got it, but I can't think of it.
I won't hold it against you.
Yeah, but he is as good as Castle is for Watauga. This guy's good for Freedom, but Castle has help. He's got people around him. He's got a good defense that can stop people. I mean, you're 13 minutes, you scored 62, 63 points last week. Freedom, on the other hand, Freedom can put the ball in the end zone, but they can't stop anybody.
Yeah.
They have to beat you. It's got to be a shootout, and they got to outscore you, not just beat. They've got to outscore you. Hope to get the ball last, and to get that, at least that's what happened to them against Crest, and it's been that way ever since. And it's just like, well, Freedom just can't stop it. So I think Watauga going to Freedom, they know what they have to do, and they're going to do it. I'm thinking it's like a 42-21 type game. I'll give Freedom 21. I think they can put the ball in the end zone, but Watauga's just going to be too strong of a team overall.
I used the J word when referencing Watauga a second ago, juggernaut, and that's just because it's really what they've been for the past few years. The household name, really, that's what they've turned into now in the western part of North Carolina. And I don't see them really having a problem whether they're at home or if they're on the road. So I'm going to take Watauga to win this game 35-14 over Freedom. Alexander Central will be traveling to Hickory. Shannon.
All right, so Alexander Central comes in 2-2 in the conference, 6-3 overall. Hickory's 3-1 in the conference, but 3-6 overall. Hickory started off slow, maybe couldn't get together, but they've put together the past 4 weeks, put together a good run. On the other hand, Alexander Central, it seems like they've struggled. I remember, I guess it was last week, you're saying, man, they've only won 2 conference games, or that'll be their second conference win last week, or yeah, I think it was last week. So. Again, it's like 2 teams. I think they're evenly matched. I think athlete for athlete, they're going to come in and it's going to be, okay, we can match you here, we can match you there. But what I like about Alexander Central is I think they can beat you. They can take advantage of your mistake. And a Hickory team, I think, is going to make a mistake because I mean, that record to me is very deceiving, that conference record. That's very deceiving to me, that 3-1 for Hickory. So I think Alexander Central will exploit their weaknesses, and they will do what it takes. And I've got them winning on the road at Hickory. I've got it 35-14. Alexander Central.
Well, I was going to go with Alexander Central, but then I've seen them hiccup a few times against Freedom when they had leads and they blew it. And I don't know what Coach Stone has done to this team, but ever since they started with conference play, I mean, you know, they've been in a lot of games. They did go to Freedom and win, you know, and when I look back at games like that, I'm like, I don't know whether somebody come off of an injury that come to play or, you know, I don't know what happened. But anyway, this game tonight, I'm going to take Hickory 2 defeat down, and I'm going to take Hickory 28, Alexander Central 21.
I forgot to mention a second ago, Watauga, I have playoff projections in front of us as we're getting closer and closer to the end of the season, a regular season. Watauga would be in the 3AA, have them in a 3 seed, but also in the 3AA would be Alexander Central. They say they would be a 10 seed, and in the 3 single A, they have Hickory as an 8 seed. So both of these teams, as of right now, have got playoffs in their, we're, you know, right in the mirror. They're looking for it. But I'm going to take it. I'm feeling Hickory right now. I really am. They've had some key wins that we really counted them out. I'm going to take Hickory also because they're at home. I think they've done really well at home this year. I'm going to take Hickory to win this one 21-10. 21-10. I think they're going to come out and show off. 21-10 against Alexander Central.
Kid from Freedom, Birchfield. Quarterback is Birchfield.
There you go. Glad we got that one figured out. South Caldwell be traveling to play against St. Stephen's. So at St. Stephen's, Terry.
Yeah, you got 2 teams coming in here, 4 and 5, both of them 1 and 3 in the conference. Big game for each of them. You still thinking playoffs? You think you can get in? I think the winner, and this is how I'm going to put it, because we're starting to get into this trend now where 4 wins gets you qualified. They don't get you in. And last year we had in some of the brackets where 6-win teams never made it. So I got a feeling one of these is going to be the ones left out, whoever loses tonight. And I think South Caldwell on the road at St. Stephen's comes out with a victory. South Caldwell 32, St. Stephen's 21.
Yeah, I agree. I think tonight's win by either one of these teams will put a stamp on we've made the playoffs. Yeah. So, but again, yeah, like you said, they've got the most identical record overall and in the conference play. But the one thing, Terry, I'm looking at, and Hunter, you can probably see this too. South Caldwell is giving up 158 in the conference. St. Stephen's giving up 152 points. That's pretty even. But if you look at how many they've scored, St. Stephen's only scored 70 points in the conference. And so to me, that's going to be the difference. I don't think they're going to be able to put the ball in the end zone against a South Caldwell defense. So I've got South Caldwell. I agree with you, Terry, on the road. I think they're going to win. I've got it 28 to, I'm going to say 28-10. They'll defeat St. Stephen's.
I'm going to take South Caldwell to win at St. Stephen's as well. St. Stephen's, I know over the past few years, they've really had some down seasons. It's not been everything that they've wanted it to be, especially when conference play comes in. So I'm going to take South Caldwell to go into St. Stephen's. They'll put up the points. St. Stephen's, I think, unfortunately, like you said, won't be able to put up the points. I'm going to say it's 21 to, I'll just go a score underneath you, 21-10. I'll say 21-10, South Caldwell over St. Stephen's. And with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back after these messages. You are listening to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show here on KGCBroadcasting.com.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price. With names like the Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General, and Travelers. Drop by the office today at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
Start your engines! It's the AAA Texas 500.
Here comes Harvick. Harvick will try to go to the inside here, make it 3 wide. Here comes Blaney. He'll take the lead off turn 2. He'll try to slide down in front of Harvick, but Harvick pedals back hard.
Joey Logano got the invitation to Homestead last week. This time it's Kevin Harvick.
Hi, I'm Doug Rice. Join the PRN team for the AAA Texas 500, Sunday, November 3rd at 2 p.m.
The AAA Texas 500 this Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL. 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at kdcbroadcasting.com. Don't miss the Yamaha Let's Ride sales event at Full Throttle Power Sports on Indian Walk in Lowell. Get 0% financing for 60 months and up to $2,500 in customer cash. But that's not all. The Polaris factory authorized clearance is underway with 3.99% APR and rebates of up to $3,500. And see the line of reconditioned golf carts too at Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell, online at ncfullthrottle.com.
Laughlin Furniture's fall sale is now underway. Check out their great buys on outdoor rocking chairs starting at $99, swings for $119, three-piece outdoor wood pub table set for $229, recliners for football season so you can sit back, relax, and watch the games from $199 to $999. Located at 400 North Lafayette Street, Shelby, Laughlin Furniture has quality indoor and outdoor products to help you spruce up your home for fall season. So shop their fall sale and save. Home of the real deals, 704-484-3204, LaughlinFurnitureOutlet.com.
Need a licensed electrician to service your home? Give us a jingle, or just use this one.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
For local pros, call Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? Give us a jingle, or just use this one.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
For local pros, call Mr. Sparky.
Come play the Friendly Golf Club, the Deerbrook Golf Club, open to the public every day of the week. Right now, you can play and ride Monday through Friday for $34 or just $29 after 12 noon. Play and ride weekends for $48 or just $26 after 12 noon. And seniors play and ride Monday through Friday for $29. Make your tee time by calling 704-482-4653. The Deerbrook Golf Club off Highway 180 North in Shelby. Online at deerbrookgolfclub.com.
In Shelby, when the word barbecue is mentioned, many people think of Alston Bridges, and vice versa. When Alston Bridges is mentioned, many people think of barbecue. It's true, Alston Bridges has delicious barbecue, pork, beef, or chicken, also pork ribs, hot dogs, and great sides such as baked beans, slaw, french fries, and hush puppies, desserts like pies and banana pudding, and of course, the best tea around. Alston Bridges Barbecue, 620 Grover Street, right here in Shelby.
Hi, this is Woody Durham for Mark Dedman's Carolina Trophies in Shelby. Through the years, I've seen a lot of trophies and plaques, and none appear nicer than those which come from Mark Dedman's Carolina Trophies. Their guarantee is not just a guarantee, but a promise for courteous service, the absolute lowest price, quality products, on-time delivery, and most of all, your satisfaction. Awards for all occasions, plus rubber stamps and engraving. That's Mark Dedman's Carolina Trophies in Shelby.
Online at carolinatrophies.com.
You hear them pads going click, 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 click. You hear them clicks going
704 beats per Alex.
Hey, before we get started back right quick, can I make the comment?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't get to talk on the Saturday morning sports talk much. This has nothing to do with high school football, but I guess you heard Coach K and Coach Calipari of Kentucky are protesting this decision to pay the players. I did guess you heard that today.
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I said if they do that, their players will have to take a pay cut. But anyway, back to high school football.
I was like, wait a minute.
We're just here to win.
Wait.
Yeah, that's all
You
right.
know, I was like, you know good and well.
Balling.
You know good and well they've been doing something like that probably. Well, Calipari's been caught for cheating before. It wouldn't be surprising. But we're here for some more high school football. And I just want to make one comment, you know, seeing how we are talking about football on this channel, you know. Sometimes they play collegiate games on Thursday nights as well. And there was a game last night that I know a certain person of our broadcast group was really interested in.
Yeah.
And all I want to say is what happened with Georgia Southern.
All I'm gonna say is I hope Watauga wins so they can take a win back up the mountain. You know, that's all,
Yeah,
that's all you
yeah.
gotta, you know.
I mean, that's tough. That's a tough way to spend a Halloween. I know a lot of my friends that went to Appalachian, that went up the mountain yesterday to go to that game because they're graduated.
Yeah, I know a lot from West Lincoln.
Yeah,
That
and
way.
they were They were not too happy.
Yeah, and then
Not
they
too
was up
happy.
there saying, "You're not going to believe it. It started snowing."
Yeah, yeah.
I do the devotions for Shelby's football team on Friday mornings, and before we started this morning, I asked Coach Wilbanks. I said, "Don't Coach, Lance, Coach Ware?"
Yeah.
He's like, no.
Huh.
And I said, "I wonder what they're doing." And then one of the other coaches, Coach Hahn, he said they probably hadn't left. They're probably still talking about last night's game between the coaches.
Yeah. Well, I had looked, and I don't know how many teams get beat by a football team that didn't even pass for 100 yards, but ran for 320. Yeah,
This is
so
off
Georgia
night,
Southern
man.
did it all on the ground, and
Everything went right for Georgia Southern, rushing
Yeah.
wise, but for
Yeah.
App, it just fell apart. They just couldn't get it going.
that's tough. But we love talk. We'll talk about it obviously in the morning.
We will.
We'll talk
y'all
about
better.
it. But
Well, we probably won't.
Or,
we
we might not.
Probably put underneath the table somewhere.
Yep. So I thought I'd do it, and it's all out of fun. We don't mean anything mean by it. It's all out
No,
of fun.
I hate they lost. I do. I really hate they lost. But I mean, it happened. I think last year, Georgia Southern beat them last year when it got ranked.
I was about to say,
So
Georgia Southern is really, everybody was making fun of Tennessee losing to Georgia State, but Georgia Southern was known for a lot of times winning FCS championships when they were in the FCS. So they were a powerhouse at the FCS. The same thing how people were looking at Appalachian State, and while they were FCS, they were a powerhouse. Now they've just moved up and they've continued to beat up on each other. So.
And App, App was in a position. And I know this is high school football,
Yeah,
but App was in a position to really. I mean, they had a legitimate shot to be playing either a New Year's Day Bowl or maybe the next. I mean, it was you're talking big time money for that school, but one loss can destroy it.
well, that hurt that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
But other than that, they've still had a great season. But the only thing that's going to hurt now is, they're going to make everybody jump ahead of them. That's the only thing that's going to hurt. We'll get back to high school football. We just needed to talk about that. I mean, why not? We're talking about Watauga. We
got local roots up there.
We got a lot of local
players.
A lot of local roots up there. Bunker Hill going to Patton. I don't remember who I ended with, so I'm just going to go to Terry. I think it was Terry.
You did well.
I did. All right,
I'll give
Terry,
you A+ on that one.
But now here's the thing: are you going to pick Bunker Hill to win this game?
You got a team that comes in here.
I know you've picked them multiple times.
I have, and because I just felt like this team was a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
When you saw them in practice before the season ever started, and they played West Lincoln, it was a better football team than what I was used to. Don't get me wrong, West Lincoln would have beat them on the field, but they was very strong, very tough up front, and they had a legitimate quarterback and running backs. And I'm like, this team, to me, just from watching in a practice game, and you know how it is. I mean, you can go watch some people say this team's going to be pretty good as well compared to what they used to be. And I even said at the start of the year, they might not be able to win more games than they did last year, but they're a better team. Well, they've turned that all around.
Yeah.
They come in here 5-4, 4-1 against a Patton team who's 3-6, 2-3. Patton's won the last 4 games in this series, but Bunker Hill's won their last 4 straight. To get to this point, 1-4, now 5-4. Got a shot at second place here. The big win last week for them, but this game right here, you can't let down. You got to stay up. I mean, I think this team believes in themselves now. I think they will win. I don't think it'll be a runaway, but I've got Bunker Hill winning this game right here, 24-21.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Bunker Hill, and I didn't know all that at the beginning of the year just by what you had said, but
they were at that jamboree, weren't they? Is that where you saw them? At the jamboree?
Well, no. They was at a practice against at Bunker Hill.
Okay.
But I agree. I think Bunker Hill, they're not going to beat your powerhouse teams in the 2As, but they're going to beat somebody like a Patton. They're going to beat this conference up, except when you go up to High Brighton. And I mean, they'll struggle against them, or they've struggled. But everybody else, they got a legitimate shot at beating them because you can't teach. There's things in football I believe you can't teach. Number one is speed. You can't teach that. But I think you can't teach hard either. And I think Bunker Hill as they've gotten a chance to win 5 games now. These kids are not only getting motivated, now they're getting a little swagger. I've said that before, but I think they got heart. Now they got a little something to play for. Hey, we got a little pride now. Hey, we're making playoffs. We're not going to be one of these what ifs. We're going to get in the playoffs and we're going to do some damage. So I think it just continues tonight. Now they have something to play for versus last year before when they were 0-10 or whatever it was. They don't. Now they do. And I think they're going to Patton tonight. And I think Patton, they're decent, but they're not great. I think Bunker Hill will just continue to win. I think they're going to, I'm going to say 28-10 Bunker Hill.
Bunker Hill is happy to hear that. Bunker Hill needs to be happy about what I'm about to say, too. Playoff projection, you'd be in the 2AA as an 8 seed hosting a home playoff game.
When's the last time, has that ever happened, Bunker Hill host a playoff game?
Yeah, I know it has in the past.
Okay.
I don't think not any time in the last 10 years.
No.
I
wouldn't.
So
go back.
Yeah.
In the 70s?
I mean, if you want to go that far back,
I think they've done it. I think they've done it.
That's why we have Terry on. He is our historian. Not only is he our historian for football, he's our historian for technology carrying that flip phone.
Exactly
He's got to keep it.
You'd be surprised how that thing works.
You still use Morse code, don't
I'm
you?
with both of you. I'm drinking from the Bunker Hill Kool-Aid right now. I'm going to ride high with Bunker Hill to win this game. I'm going to take them to win 28-10 over Patton. I think Bunker Hill's got a very good squad with them. If it says it right now, just because I know we're not going to cover this team on our board, but they would be hosting Pisgah if the playoffs happened today and these projections stayed where they are. They would be hosting Pisgah. Speaking of, though, the monster that they'd have to face in their own conference, High Brighton will be traveling to play against West Iredell. So, Shannon, does High Brighton just continue to roll?
Yeah, High Brighton comes in undefeated in the conference, 8-1 overall. West Iredell comes in 3-2 in the conference, 5-4 overall. They're not having a bad year at West Iredell, but they're running up against the juggernaut in this conference. Terry, the one thing that I've looked at for High Brighton, the points allowed, conference is 27 points.
Yeah.
They've given up 27 points only, and they've scored 244. Overall, they've only given up 93. So you can do 9. I mean, that's under 10 points a game. And I think they will continue tonight. They're the cream of the crop of this conference. They will win. Even though they're playing on the road, they will win big against West Iredell. I'm going to say 42-14 will be the final.
As you come with that, I'm going to be real quick with this one.
Yeah.
I got High Brighton 2, and I've got them 49-14.
49-14. I'm just looking at my playoff projections, seeing if I can find High Brighton on here, and for some reason I can't.
2AA.
Yes, 3A. They would be the 3 seed. 3 seed. That's where High Brighton would be. So 2AA, 3 seed. High Brighton. I have High Brighton winning this game over West Iredell. I guess a question that I posed to you two before I go over to the next board of games around in our area. I'm just going to read you the 1, 2, and 3 seeds, and the 1 seed in the 2AA is Shelby. The 2 seed right now is North Lincoln, who we'll talk about later, and they have High Brighton at the 3 seed. Could High Brighton, and just because we just talked about them, could High Brighton beat either one of those teams?
Oh, I'm gonna put it like I don't think they can beat Shelby.
Okay.
North Lincoln would be a great game.
Okay.
You would have 2 teams out there who both have strong defenses and both of them like to run the ball.
Right.
So I think that'd be one heck of a game.
Yeah, I think I agree. I don't think they could beat Shelby. I do. North Lincoln High Brighton would be a heck of a ball game.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a great ball game to watch. So yeah. And you talking about the power rankings?
Mm-hmm.
They've got. And I don't know who did these. I saw these online. But High Brighton is 7. North Lincoln is 9. Ooh. That's in the power rankings.
Yeah.
So that's something totally different. But so yeah, they're very evenly matched teams.
Okay. Well, I just we're a high school show. Might as well should throw out the what ifs.
Yeah.
Throw out the what ifs because we are closing. We got to remember, ladies and gentlemen, coming to a close of the regular season. The playoffs are right around the corner,
right.
And that's what everybody loves. Everybody loves playoff football. So we'll go ahead and start. Union Academy will be going to Highland Tech. Shannon.
Union Academy. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to ask, does Union Academy do this?
Yeah,
Did they come out with a win?
Yes. They come in 4-2 in the conference, 5-3 overall. Highland Tech 1-5 in the conference, 2-7 overall. Union Academy is, they're trying to get a better position in that 1A playoff. Highland, they're just struggling to tread water, or treading water. They're just struggling to remain afloat. But I think even Union Academy coming to Highland, I think they will have no problem. I would say Union Academy 49, Highland 7.
I'm going to keep mine very short on this, and also Union Academy and Highland Tech, the all-time series is 1-1. Won't make no difference tonight as Union Academy comes over here, and I think it's whatever they want to score. Union Academy 42, Highland Tech, I'm going to say 12.
Yeah, I'm looking at the playoff projections. Looks like in a 1A, just the single 1A, if this is there a separate union, or do they probably mean Union Academy when I'm looking at
That's
this?
a Union Academy.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So if there's not just a Union High School, then it looks like they have Union Academy as an 11 seed in the 1A. I'm going to take Union Academy to defeat Highland Tech as well. I'm going to have the score at 28-3 Union Academy over Highland Tech.
Was Union Academy or is Union County? Are they 1A? No, never mind. That's I'm thinking Legion baseball. My fault. Never mind.
Okay, well, that's fine. I'm just reading what I got in front of me. So, yeah, that's there's no academy next to it. So I'm like, well, is Union its own separate school? But that's fine. South Point, Chase will be hosting South Point, and this is another one of those games for Chase where they're actually going to face a little bit of a stronger opponent. We've seen what has happened. Now they've faced strong opponents in back-to-back weeks with Burns and Shelby. They had a real trouble with them. Terry, does South Point go into Chase? And I don't know if you want to call it an upset, but do they come out of there with a victory? What do they call it again over there in Chase? They call it
the farm.
Do they go to the farm and come out with a win?
Well, the farm is going to have a hard time going against that Red Bone offense that they're going to have to face. I don't think it's going to matter. I think that Chase is better.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're the fourth best team in this conference. You know, your other three juggernauts of Shelby, Burns, and South Point still thinking, hey, we still have a chance.
Yeah.
So to me, that's going to make the difference. But if South Point leads this all-time series 16-6, the series started way back in 1969. 1986 was the last time that Chase has won, and it was 20-6 then. One of the wins for Chase was a forfeit way back in 1985. So tonight, and here's, you had so many blowouts in the other two games, and I'm going to think this is going to be whatever South Point wants to do again. I got South Point 42, Chase 17.
You know, I want to agree with that, but you know, the beauty about today's world technology, you got social media and you can read stuff that's going on, and I've also heard this from somebody. They've shut the Greer kid down or the Rose kid down from South Point.
Yeah, they have.
So,
He didn't play last week.
He didn't play last week, and I think I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I think Mac Brown has heard of this at Carolina 'cause that's where he's going. So I don't know if he's going to talk with him, or I mean I don't know, but I've heard he wasn't playing them, and he was their go-to guy. So I don't know if that's true. If he shows up tonight, if he plays, I don't think South Point's.
Do you know why they shut him down?
He got hurt again. He got hurt
He did.
again. And I think he's wanting, you know, he's looking long term.
Which I don't blame him.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that it's, you know, you're playing for yourself, you're playing for your team, and to me, I get it, but then again, hey, dude, you signed up to play for this team, and this is who you need to play for right now. You're not at Carolina yet.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
Well, I want to mention one thing as you mentioned is when we speak of South Point, and I remember back when Weddington knocked them out of a playoffs, and there's one quarterback deep. This team has had Rose. They got two other guys that are out there, so they got backup now.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going into a game without somebody else who has not run their offense.
Right, and I agree with that, but they do not have that big time. They can't. Playing Chase, and Chase has got the Hampton brothers, one at quarterback and one at receiver.
But they're good.
That
I've
are
seen
very
them.
dangerous. These kids are fast, and especially the one at receiver can. I mean, he's a game changer. I mean, as far as throwing the deep, he can stretch the field. Let's put it that way. You know, again, if Rose plays, I think it's not going to be no problem. But we got to remember, I'm going back to last week's game, South Point against RS. South Point had to score at the end of the game to beat RS
They
Central.
did.
And to me, that's like, okay, and I think Chase is better than RS Central. So I'm looking at this thinking, okay, is it going to be that big of a lopsided score? And I'm thinking Chase is going to pull out the win at home. Probably a huge upset. Now, maybe the only one this side of Charlotte picking him, but instead over in Henrietta. But I think that Chase will, it all depends if Rose doesn't play, though. And I think Chase will come in there and they'll be fired up. If they get the lead, they may start playing tight. But if they get the lead, they may just start going crazy. And if they defeat, and I think they will defeat South Point. So I'm saying Chase is going to beat them 28-21, just like the score was last week.
Hit the butt. Cut Shannon.
Come on,
Cut him off.
No,
I was concerned. I was like, wait, Terry, what are you
what?
talking about? Why? He's driving our ratings. People are tuning in now to hear this. But this is what I'm going to say to you, Shannon. I don't think you're crazy.
Yeah.
Because the more I sit here and the more I think about it, and the more information I get from you that you just give me, because I had no idea that he had even gotten hurt, and if he was even considering to shut it down. And I'll say this, I understand what you're saying from. You signed up to play for South Point, play for him now. You're not at Carolina, but at the same time, the way I look at it is, it's like it's one of those things where depending on what the injury is,
Yeah.
if it's light but there's a chance for re-aggravation and having to do something in the off season that's going to prevent you from maybe getting early practice in at Carolina, that's where I would be questionable about it. But I know exactly what you mean. But with that new information, I know
South Point plays Shelby next week, so they could be looking ahead to that.
Well, and there's more information. Terry, did you jump the gun here? Because the more I hear about it, the more I'm about to take Chase. And guess what? Hit the big red button. I'm taking Chase.
Turn him off.
I'm
Turn
taking
Terry
Chase.
off.
I'm taking Chase. I'm going to take Chase to win this game, but I think it'll be tight. I think Chase wins this one 28-23 over South Point. Community School of Davidson will be traveling to play East Gaston. I'm going to go right back to Shannon. Community School of Davidson and East Gaston.
Community School of Davidson is 3-4 in their conference, 4-5 overall.
Oh, wait. Sorry. I probably should have said this. I meant to also say playoff projection would be South Point 12 seed in the 2AA. 2 single A. Chase would be a 9 seed. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, anyway, Community School of Davidson 3-4 in the conference, 4-5 overall. East Gaston is, I believe, Terry, they are over.
Yeah.
They have not won a game yet, and they're not.
You don't want to be an offer.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems at East Gaston football-wise, and it just is what it is. Stuart Kramer was built, and I think it took a lot of kids from Mount Holly area. Plus, you got Mountain Island Charter down there now, so I think it's hurting them. So I think Community School, I'm gonna say 49-0 Community School Davis.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be pretty quick at this last week. I watched the game last week, and I saw Burns do whatever they wanted to do. I mean, they had a chance of scoring 42 points in the first quarter. I mean, they wasn't even being stopped. There wasn't even nobody touching the guys when we got through. I'm going to be easy with this. Community School of Davidson. I'm going to go a little bit higher, 49, but I am going to give East Gaston 6.
That's very generous of you. I'm going to say 56-0 Community School of Davidson over East Gaston. Sorry, East Gaston. I couldn't really do it for you. We're going to take a quick break, though, and when we come back, we will round out our final few games that we have on around the area, and then we'll start getting into break down the games that are going to be on our broadcast channel. You have been listening to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show here on KTC Broadcasting. We'll be back after these messages.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price. With names like The Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General, and Travelers. Drop by the office today at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
Gamble's Auto Service at 104 South DeKalb Street in Uptown Shelby is your one-stop service center for repair work on your auto. Locally owned and operated since 1980, they offer light and medium automotive repair on all types of vehicles. Bill Gamble and his friendly staff can do state inspections, minor engine repair work, brakes, air conditioning, and heating service, timing belts, tune-ups, and oil changes, and lubrication. And now Gamble sells new and used tires. Stop by and let Gamble's Auto Service take care of your automotive repairs and servicing. That's Gamble's Auto Service, 104 South DeKalb Street, Uptown Shelby. Call 704-487-5079. The Cleveland County Arts Council is hosting the 21st Annual Carolina Pottery Festival, November 2nd at the LeGrand Center in Shelby. There will be over 100 potters on display with unique items. It's a great event and just in time for some holiday shopping. Admission is $5 and children under 12 free. And there is free convenient parking too. So attend the Carolina Pottery Festival, November 2nd, 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. at the LeGrand Center. Get information on Facebook.com/Carolina Pottery Festival or call 704-484-2787. For over 100 years, the Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home in Falston has been providing services to families of our community with care and compassion. And now the Stamey Funeral Home has added the Cremation Center along with a new name, the Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home and Cremation Center. The Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home and Cremation Center on Highway 182 in Falston, and the Stamey Funeral Home in Cherryville, located on Dixie Street in Cherryville, serving you with care and compassion in your time of need. The kickoff sales event is underway at SNR Auto Sales in Shelby. The selection is absolutely unbelievable. No matter what you're looking for, you'll find it at SNR Auto Sales in Shelby. See their selection of trucks, vans, and SUVs, plus Mercedes, BMWs, Hondas, Cadillacs, Chevrolets, Nissans, Fords, and more. They have a vehicle for every need, and financing is available. Check them out at SNR Auto Sales, 417 South Post Road in Shelby. Become one of their satisfied customers today. Only at srautosales.com. Is it time to change how your home looks? Are you ashamed to have friends over because of your old carpet or flooring? Well, then now's the time to head to Flooring America on Slater Street in Kings Mountain. Come see the new waterproof luxury vinyl plank flooring, starting at $2.99 a square foot. That's right, only $2.99 a square foot. And there are 4 colors in stock to choose from. Hit the refresh button on your home with a visit to Flooring America, 602 Slater Street in Kings Mountain, online at flooringamericakingsmountain.com. Bring your car or truck back to life by taking it to Affordable Paint and Body Shop in Shelby, now located at 2230 Huey Church Road, just about a quarter of a mile from their old location, right across from City Electric. For over 16 years, Affordable Paint and Body Shop has been serving this area with the finest in paint and body repair. No matter what you drive, they can paint it, and they give free estimates and do insurance work as well. Drop by for your free estimate today or call 704-471-2122. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Affordable Paint and Body Shop, 2230 Huey Church Road in Shelby, right across from City Electric.
You hear them pads going up. You hear them clicks going up. 704 beats by Alex. Yeah. First and 10.
You want to comment on that, Terry?
Not really.
Trying to see if Terry believes NC State's going to beat Wake Forest tomorrow. But how about Wake Forest? They've got a great team this year.
Tough at home. Yeah, they're
got a great team. Not only that, Sage has really done great for them. Sage Surratt. I think I told
Did
a
Louisville
buddy.
go in there and beat them up?
Think
of that.
Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and say Wake isn't
Louisville's
beatable,
not good
but
neither. They're not that good.
Louisville played Clemson good for a quarter. That was about it, though. That was
Yeah,
about all
a
you
quarter.
got. But I'll say this about Sage: you love to see local in a quarter. You love to see local kids really shine. Especially when you got to watch them at the high school level. Sage and Chaz. Chaz obviously playing different position than he did in high school at North Carolina. He's having great success. But Sage is leading the ACC in receiving yards. And he's I think he's a top 10 wide receiver in the country when it comes to receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. So you know what? You love to see it. You love to see it for local kids.
I think Wake would be better if they also put him on the basketball team. I think it would help their basketball team.
That's what a lot of people said when he was in high school at East Lincoln. And at Lincolnton, forgot he was there as well. He was a far better basketball player than they thought he was a football player. He's got pretty good size, too.
Yes.
You think he'll play on Sundays? You think he's got an opportunity, Terry?
I think he's got every opportunity. Both of them guys do.
Mm-hmm.
I think with Chaz moving over to the linebacker spot, I think Mac Brown opened up something for him. Here's your opportunity.
Yeah.
And
he's made the most of it.
Yeah. And Sage, he just goes out there and phenomenal, us every week about what he can do.
Yeah. So those are just some players from the area that we're happy to see having success at the next level and hopefully go to the next level.
And don't forget about Moose from Clemson.
Yeah.
From
yeah.
I mean,
like we said, we've got a lot of ties at the college level, not just on the coaching trees. As we know, we got a coach up at Appalachian. We got players all over that
Justin
place.
Foster at Crest was ACC Player of the Week.
Yeah, look at that.
That's good.
You always love to see kids succeed at the next level.
ACC Defensive Player of the Week. It was,
yeah. So where was I? I left us off. Okay, Lake Norman Charter will be traveling to play against my Bandy's Trojans. We're going to win by 30. What do you say about this game, Shannon?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Bandy's, even though they're only 1-4 in the conference, and I think 4-5 overall, they have started off strong. They've fallen off the map here, but they're still in. They have put themselves in the position by those wins early. They put themselves in the position to win, and I think they'll win tonight against Lincoln Charter. And I would say it's going to be like a 42-7 type game.
Here's the problem with all these games now. We saw Lake Norman Charter play Lincoln in a very
Tough.
tight game.
Exactly.
But I don't think that'll be even happening tonight. But my deal now is you got Bandy's 4-5.
Mm-hmm.
They got to win this, to go to 5-5. And to me, they have to win next week to become playoff eligible.
You don't think they're in?
I don't think they're in.
I got a playoff projection for them.
Well, I know it might say something on there.
But I'll tell you what, it's a playoff projection, but I'll go ahead and tell you it's an early exit.
Yeah.
Early exit. I'll say it. Right now they have Bandy's as a 16 in the
There you
2AA,
go.
and you can just guess who they play.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If you
Shelby.
win tonight and you lose next week, that would be the best you could get if you get in. I just don't think 5 wins for them is going to get them in.
No.
But even 5 wins, 6 losses, you go in at 2-5 in your conference. I don't think that's going to get them in, guys, and that's just me.
You know
and
what I think
I've
it is?
easily been wrong.
Yeah.
But
So you have them winning this time.
Oh, I've got them winning this game 55-0.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
but I'll say this. This is not obviously the same team that was led by the big running back last year. Howard. Yes, Howard.
Oh.
Howard. Did he go play anywhere? I'm not sure. I forgot. I don't know, because he was a Hall. So I remember watching him, and if he got through the front line to the second level, on the high school level, there was not a safety or a defensive back that could get him.
Yeah.
That you would have to gang tackle him because he was a very big man and he was faster than what he looked. But I talked, because I have a buddy of mine. We're both alumni. We graduated together. He's coaching with one of the teams in the same division or in the same conference as Bandy's, and he said this is what he noticed from Bandy's and probably why they're struggling this year. So they run the read. He says, but he doesn't think they really read. They run the read option, but he doesn't think that the quarterback is really reading what the defense is giving him when he's getting ready to decide if he's gonna hand the ball off or keep it. It's more of, okay, this is where you're going with the ball. You're just gonna have to do it. You're not skilled enough to read it. And they run a 2-quarterback system.
If I'm not wrong, is he not a sophomore?
He might be, if it's who I think it is.
I mean, that's a lot of learning still to come.
Yeah, still a lot of learning to come. Because I know his older brother, if it's who I think it is, and he's a twig though. If it's who I think it is, he's very tall and he's still got a lot of growing to do. Obviously, just for like build wise. But what really concerned me was, and we say it all the time when you hear about it on the college and pro level, they run a 2-quarterback system.
Yeah,
if that's true, it don't work.
Yeah, that does not work.
That don't work. And like you've said for weeks, they've had 8 kids over 100 yards rushing. Me and you agree. I don't think that's good football. Nobody can get in a rhythm if they don't know who they're going to hand the ball off to. So, for me, it's tough to see the team that won the conference last year, obviously, drop as dramatically as they did, because I had them competing with North Lincoln again. They play each other the final game of the season this year, just like they did last year. I thought that was going to be for the conference championship, and that's just not happened. So, but I have Bandy's winning this game as well. I'm going to say 35-7. I think Lake Norman Charter at least can get on the board. Now, Mountain Island Charter will be going to play against Thomas Jefferson. Shannon, does Thomas Jefferson roll?
Yeah, this is going to be the big game. Thomas Jefferson's in the they're number 1 in that conference right now. Mountain Island Charter has lost 1 conference game. Mountain Island Charter is averaging 45 points per game. Thomas Jefferson's giving up 28 points per game. So it's a clash of offense and defense here. Who's going to give? And I think Thomas Jefferson playing at home, I think they're going to be too strong for Mountain Island. I think Burris is going to get his. You're going to say, okay, give him 14, whatever he's going to get. He's going to get his yardage. He's going to, get his stats up there. But Thomas Jefferson is going to be able to counter that with other positions. Offensively, I don't think that Mountain Island can stop Thomas Jefferson. So I'm going to say Thomas Jefferson wins 35-21 at home over Mountain Island.
Well, when I looked at the totals, I said points for, 416, 404, points against. Thomas Jefferson 28, Mountain Island 76. But then I said, well, what's about the conference points for? Mountain Island's got more points, 312 to 271 points again. So Thomas Jefferson only got 22, but Mountain Island Charter only 32. So you consider the defense is playing, but you're on the road. I cannot figure out how come Mountain Island Charter cannot figure out how to beat Bessemer City. because that's like a nail into them. You know, that's already locked in and steeled every time they play them. But you're going to Thomas Jefferson, you're on the road, and I got Thomas Jefferson winning also 33-21.
So this is going to be one of the closer games Thomas Jefferson plays this year. Mountain Island Charter 1AA has them at playoff projection of 4. In the 1 single A, Thomas Jefferson is a 4 as well. So really not much separating these teams. And like you said, Pennon, when you're looking on paper, very close for defensively in the conference and offensively. So it almost could be a coin flip, but usually when it goes to a coin flip or the tiebreaker, I usually give it to the team that's at home. So I'm going to roll with Thomas Jefferson to win this just by a touchdown. I think it's going to be 28-21, Thomas Jefferson over Mountain Island Charter. Newton Conover and Maiden play today. Newton Conover travels to Maiden. This is kind of a little rivalry as well. I consider that area, just because it's where I grew up in, it's our own mini Tobacco Road. Maiden and Bandy's don't like each other. Bandy's and Newton don't like each other. Newton and Maiden don't like each other. It's just like a little triangle right there of hate. Not really hate, but, you know, just on the sports field, they all don't like each other. So Newton Conover, unfortunately, should have gotten blanked last week by North Lincoln. They scored. I was there. Newton Conover scored on their second and third string of North Lincoln. I'll give it away. The coach I know coaches for Newton Conover. And I walked down on the field after the game, and I said, well, what happened? He said, North Lincoln is better than we thought. They're bigger and they're more athletic than we thought. And so I asked him about the Maiden game coming up. He said, you know, we're very similar when it comes to play style. He said we both got athletes. It's just going to come down to really who executes better than the other one. So, Terry, does Newton Conover go into Maiden and pick up a victory, or does Maiden protect home field?
This rivalry is 27-21 and 1. The only tie come in 1978, a 6-6 tie between these. I'm going to put it as simple as it can be. Maiden owns Bandy's. Maiden owns Newton. And when the games are on the line, this game here means everything for Newton. But Maiden's going to figure out how to win, just like they did East Lincoln last week. East Lincoln left them in the game, and they took it. And that's going to happen tonight. Maiden, the coaching staff is top-notch. This is a team of 57 out of the last 67 years. They've won 6 games or more. And, I mean, it's like us talking about Shelby with their 7 wins. Maiden knows how to win close games and know how to win at the end of the season. Newton Conover, for them, they if they win tonight, hey, you got second place. If you lose tonight, you in an uproar for a lot of teams that could take second place away from you next week. But my thought for tonight is Maiden pulls out a squeaker, 31-28.
Yeah, I agree with you, Terry. I think it's going to be a close ball game, but I like Maiden's chances because they're at home. I think both these teams are evenly matched. I think, as you said, your buddy said, they're athletes, and it's just going to be who can take advantage of the other one's mistakes, and I like Maiden at home, and I'm going to say 28-24 Maiden.
I really can't pick for either of these teams just because I don't like either one of them. I'm going to root for my buddy and his coaching staff at Newton Conover. I hope that they have success. I'm going to take Newton Conover to go into Maiden and win this one. It's going to be close. I'm going to have it at 23-21. I got a 2-point victory for Newton Conover. Looking at the playoff projections, 2AA. Right now, Newton Conover sitting at a 7 seed, and the 2 single A Maiden is sitting at a 10 seed. So they're both playoff bound. We realize it's just going to come down to where you finish at the end of the regular season and where you'll be in the playoff seeding. So we'll go now to Bessemer City, traveling to play against Christ the King. Shannon, Bessemer City get another victory.
Yeah, this is going to be no contest. Bessemer City, Coach Boone, they will easily defeat. It's already over. Bessemer City, 56.
Don't even get off the bus.
0. Yeah, they were in trouble when you crunk the bus up, or crunk it up to that.
Yeah, and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to go 49-0 because I know Coach Boone is not going to let them just score whatever.
Right.
I'm going to go 49-0 Bessemer City.
Bessemer City 5-1, Christ the King 0-8. I think what really speaks to Christ the King's season so far is on the season they've only scored 52 points. So it's been a tough year for Christ the King. I have Bessemer City coming out as well. I'm going to have them winning 42-0 over Christ the King. Stuart Kramer is going to face against, some would call them the King Killers, the Hunter Huss Huskies. They took down Kings Mountain a few weeks ago, but it seems long forgotten. Does Stuart Kramer go in and pull an upset on Hunter Huss? Terry?
No.
Well, I tried.
Pretty simple. Stuart Kramer 3-6, 1-3. Hunter Huss 6-2, 3-1. And every time I look at Hunter Huss and I say 6-2, 3-1, and I think about big wins for them is the win over Kings Mountain, because I really didn't think Hunter Huss was this good this year, but somehow or another they continue to win games. They lead this series 4-1. This should be no damper in what they do. I got Hunter Huss 28, Stuart Kramer 7.
Yeah, even though Huss won on the scoreboard over Kings Mountain lost the game more than Huss won the game. I've said that before, and but I also picked Crest to beat Huss. Only one on this group to do that.
You did well.
Well,
throwing that in there.
Let's hold on to that one.
But Huss beat Kings Mountain, and now they are in the they are in the driver's seat, and they had it locked up, and then they go to Crest and lay an egg. Well, they didn't lay an egg. That Crest just beat them there at the end. But Hunter Huss wins tonight because they don't want to give up that second position. They don't want that second place spot, and there's a possibility they could be tied for first. Tied for first if they win tonight, because one team, if Crest beats Kings Mountain next week, now you've got two teams with one loss in that conference, and Huss has the advantage. Well, no, they won't.
They'll be all the way.
Yeah. So anyway, Huss is there. I think they'll win tonight at home. I'm gonna say 49-14 over Stuart Kramer.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Hunter Huss as well. I try to give Stuart Kramer a little bit of credit, but Hunter Huss, 3 single A's, got a projection of a 4 seed, so they're still looking pretty good. I think defensively they're just going to be so stout against Stuart Kramer that Kramer's going to be, to me, lucky to get 7. Hunter Huss is going to put 35 up. So I got 35-7 Huss over Stuart Kramer. Fred T. Ford is going to travel up the mountain, go up towards East Burke. Shannon, does Fred T. Ford pull out a victory at East Burke?
They've only won one game this year overall, and East Burke has won 2 games overall, but they've both just won 1 conference game. I would like to, and I'm going to pick Ford to go up there and win, just for the fact that Ford, they've had a down year. They've struggled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They finish up strong, but I'm going to say Ford goes up to East Burke and wins 21-14.
And I'm going to say about the same thing. Fred T. Ford's won 5 out of the last 6 in this one, and I've got Fred T. Ford also winning up there at East Burke, 28-21.
Well, I'm going to be the lone man out. I'm going to take East Burke at home. Going to take East Burke to win a close one. No, don't turn me off. The people need me, Terry. I am a man of the people, okay? And they love what I got to say.
Okay.
So East Burke is going to claim the victory at home against Fred T. Ford. 17-14. Going to keep it close.
Got to have a little pushback.
Got to have a little pushback. Because, see, here's the problem. If we all choose the same thing, then it gets boring,
Yeah. People quit listening.
Yeah. They're like, oh, they're all yes men. And it's like, no.
They just turned it off for T. Ford.
Yeah.
Click.
Click. So Drawn will be traveling to West Caldwell.
I am not a believer in Drawn yet. And I'm just going to be honest with you.
Well, don't tell me you're going to pick West
I'm
Caldwell.
going to pick West Caldwell home. Okay? I'm going to do it. Why not? Okay? I'm pushback. Right?
Okay, there you go. You're
so,
not a yes man.
Right, but Jerome comes in, and I'm going back from what I know just about the makeup of these schools. I think Jerome, they can play. I mean, they're pretty good what they do. But I think West Caldwell, they're going to have more athletes, and I think West Caldwell will exploit Jerome. And I'm going to say West Caldwell wins 14-10 over Jerome to pick up their second victory.
How many points has West Caldwell scored?
88.
88.
Be 102 after tonight. Mark it down.
Drone.
Will they finally get over 100?
Yeah, I'm just going to say a score. Drone 42, West Caldwell 7.
Yeah, Drawn scored 300 on the season.
Ain't played nobody.
West Caldwell has scored 88.
Hadn't played anybody.
Well, I'll tell you what, Drawn has scored 300, but overall they've let up 304, so they're almost 50-50 on points for and points allowed. I'm taking Drawn. Sorry, Shannon, I can't join you in this boat just yet. I'm taking drawn to defeat West Caldwell.
Whose chance-
What's a good score? What's a good score, Terry? I'll let you pick mine. What's a good score? I don't know. Do I just?
I just said 42-7.
Nah. Okay. I'll just I'll say 49-0.
So out of the two upsets I picked West Caldwell with drawn, and I picked Chase over South Point. Which team has a better shot at winning?
Chase.
There you go. That was easy enough.
Chase. Now, see, here's the thing. Calvin's not in here, so I don't know if he wants us to take a quick break before we go over our games here.
He's
Yeah,
come.
take
Yeah,
a quick
he
break. All right, sounds good. So we're going to take a quick
Sprinting it.
commercial break, and when we come back, we will go over the games. We'll start picking teams, winners, losers, everything, the games that will be on our stations. You are listening to Witherspoon Insurance pregame show here on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price. With names like The Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General, and Travelers. Drop by the office today at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986. If you've been in the market for a storage building, then now's the time to see one at Sheila's Sheds in Shelby, Cherryville, and Lincoln. Right now, Sheila's Sheds has a good selection of repos and discounted buildings in many different sizes. And remember, 5% down delivers at Sheila's Sheds. Get a new Old Hickory building today with no credit check and free delivery and setup. Carports start at $8.95 and 90 days, same as cash. Sheila's Sheds, Highway 150 East Cherryville, Highway 74 East in Shelby, and on Riverside Drive in Lincoln.
The Super Slam is back at Denny's on Highway 74 East in Shelby at the Cleveland Mall. By popular demand, the Super Slam has returned. That's 2 eggs, 2 bacon strips, 2 link sausages, 2 pancakes and hash browns, all for $5.99. That's right, only $5.99. And come see the newly remodeled store. We think you'll love it. Ask for the Super Slam. Now back and ready for you at your local Denny's, 2025 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, open 24 hours a day. The Cleveland County Arts Council is hosting the 21st Annual Carolina Pottery Festival, November 2nd at the LeGrand Center in Shelby. There will be over 100 potters on display with unique items. It's a great event and just in time for some holiday shopping. Admission is $5 and children under 12 free. And there is free convenient parking too. So attend the Carolina Pottery Festival, November 2nd, 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. at the LeGrand Center. Get information on Facebook.com/Carolina Pottery Festival or call 704-484-2787. The best got even better. We're talking about the free breakfast with your stay at the Hampton Inn on Remount Road in Gastonia. Just added to their hot breakfast bar, smoothies, fresh cut fruit, and flavored waffles. It's a treat for the kids and adults. All complimentary with your stay at the Hampton Inn in Gastonia. Plus get free Wi-Fi too. So plan your stay now at the Hampton Inn, located at 1859 Remount Road in Gastonia. For reservations, call 704-866-9090. That's the Hampton Inn in Gastonia. This area's largest selection of gas logs are found at the all-new Today's Pro in their new location at 1325 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right across from Harbor Freight. Come in now and see their selection of gas logs, and they are the new dealer for Cozy Heat Logs. Keep in mind, Old Man Winter is lurking right around the corner, and now Today's Pro carries Weber gas grills, and they are a propane tank filling station. Today's Pro, 1325 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right across from Harbor Freight. Open 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
You hear them pads going clink, 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 clink. You hear them clicks going
704 beats per Alex J.
Yeah. First and 10. We in the trenches.
We're just here to win.
Terry can answer this question. So, looks like there was a game left off that we're going to just... Oh, okay.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Backfield.
Yeah. Keep it going. Yeah, we just came to win.
Your quarterback.
But there was a game. There was a game that was left off, and we're all shocked that it was left off. West Lincoln, East Lincoln, Battle of the Lincolns. Terry, do you know where this game is played at tonight?
It's at East Lincoln.
It's at East Lincoln. Okay. Well, since you are Mr. West Lincoln Rebel, I'll let you go ahead and start first with the West Lincoln East Lincoln matchup. Pretty good matchup.
Yeah, it is. East Lincoln leads the all-time series 36-15-1. Last year, West Lincoln won 22-0, stopping a 13-game losing streak to East Lincoln that started before Mike Bias ever come way back in 2004. West Lincoln won that game 19-0. So Lubowitz got his first game off to a win, but then Coach Sane beat him last year to stop that streak. You come into this series started in 1962 when East Lincoln was Rock Springs, and then West Lincoln won that game 27-0. You see me saying West Lincoln won 27-0, this to nothing, this to nothing. This is what's going to happen tonight, but it's not going to be a shutout. I'm not going to say that. East Lincoln's a little bit better than that. West Lincoln's pretty good, and this is another game that you are looking at. The winner of this, hey, the worst they can finish is probably third. You know, maybe fourth, but I mean, the worst they're going to finish is third or fourth. But if you lose, you could finish fifth. I mean, this is how much this game can be. And you can go from third or second down to fifth with a loss win this game right here. West Lincoln 7-2, 3-2. East Lincoln the same identical thing, 7-2, 3-2. I think West Lincoln's going to go down there. They should have beat East Lincoln 2 years ago. West Lincoln had a great big lead at halftime. East Lincoln comes back and wins in overtime. This time I don't think it'll happen. I think West Lincoln is going to be close. West Lincoln pulls out a 35-34 win at East.
Oh, nail biter.
Yeah, it is a nail biter. You know, going to Terry, just what you said, if we go back 2 weeks ago, East Lincoln, we're talking about them in the hunt with North Lincoln for this conference championship, because I think they were both undefeated. And then, or maybe 3 weeks ago, however long it was, but just in that short of time, they have dropped down. They're still 2 losses in the conference, but now they're tied for third in this conference. And can you imagine, as you said, the loser of this game, you're now an at-large to get in the playoffs. You're not getting a home game. Can you imagine, as a higher seeded team that's maybe having a great year, you've got one of these 2 teams that's probably going to come to your house, and you're thinking, well, we can beat them, but you're going to be playing a tough ball team. And so, but I agree, it's going to be a close game. I think West Lincoln is going to be too physical up front, and I didn't know anything about West Lincoln this year till you convinced me how good they are. And their play on the field as well. I think West goes down to Denver, and I think they are going to win. And I'm saying it's going to be 35-21. I think they'll beat them by 2 touchdowns down at Denver.
And before you speak, everybody has to look at this game, and this is what can happen. Say Maiden defeats Newton. Now, we don't say it's going to happen. I mean, that's what I think will happen. And then West Lincoln wins. All of a sudden, Maiden's back in it. Newton's back in it. West Lincoln's all them are tied. East Lincoln's 1 game back. Next week, East Lincoln does play Newton, so that could knock them out of it. And then West Lincoln would have the overall number 2 seed if they win, because they play Lake Norman Charter. You know, and everything could set up where West Lincoln could finish second in this conference. And really, if you go to North Lincoln and ask them right now, they'll tell you West Lincoln's the one that gave them the worst time on the field.
That's why when you as a coach, your players say, well, we're not really playing anybody this week. It don't matter. These games are important that you have to win, because of games like this. Now this can make your season. This can make or break where you go in the playoffs and who you face in that first round.
Both of these teams in conference are top 3 defenses. Number 1 in the conference is North Lincoln's defense. Number 2 is East Lincoln's defense. And third is West Lincoln's defense. West Lincoln has scored more points on the season, though. To me, it's really a coin flip, because I think both of these teams are very good. I've seen both of them play. Unfortunately, when I saw East Lincoln played, it was when they played really who I think is just shown out against everybody is North Lincoln. So that was a tough game. But I know East Lincoln, they can move the ball. But I'm going to agree with both of you and say I think West Lincoln wins this ball game, because West Lincoln their style of play is very similar to how North Lincoln's is. And I think that while East Lincoln is going to want to try to move the ball through the air with the spread offense that they like to run, West Lincoln's just going to go clock management. And they're just going to keep the ball on the ground. And West Lincoln, the best way to stop a high-powered offense likes to move the ball is just not let them get on the field. So West Lincoln's going to win this ball game to me. I think it's going to be a little close. I'm not quite going to give it the nail biter that Terry wants to give it, but I'm going to say this is going to be a 28-17 victory, West Lincoln over East Lincoln. With that rounds up our games around the area that we have. Now on to the games that are going to be happening on our station. We're going to start just with the far left board. on WLON 1050 AM, 107.5 FM. Also listen to this on ktcbroadcasting.com. If you don't pick up the signal in your area, you can still go there and listen. The Lincoln Wolves travel to play the number 1 team in the conference, the North Lincoln Knights. Shannon.
As much as I think Coach Glass is a great fit for Lincoln. I know he's struggling this year, but I think he's going to turn that program back to when it was when Scott Cloninger was there, and I think they'll get there. But they're not going to get there tonight. You say the best team in the conference. I'm going to say probably one of the best teams in the state, in my opinion. North Lincoln, they're dynamic. I mean, yeah, that's hiccup at the beginning of the year, but ever since then, they have done what they're supposed to do and done it big. And I think they continue to roll tonight. I'm going to say 63-0. I think they shut out Lincoln completely.
It wouldn't be the first time they shut out a team this year.
Yeah, and last week when I saw Lincoln, and we always talk about their defense keeping them in games, well, you gave up 37. You come back to win. To end the game last week, but you gave up 37.
They were down at 22 to, was it, 22 to 10 at one point?
27 points were scored in the last 5 minutes of that game. And then they win it with a touchdown as time expired. So this game here, North Lincoln can do whatever. Lincoln leads the all-time series 12-3. That don't mean a thing tonight. North Lincoln is on top of this conference and the team to beat with Coach Basil. I think it's whatever they want to do. I'm going to go North Lincoln 51, West Lincoln 7.
Okay, so you got Lincoln getting on the board. My buddy, they played against North Lincoln last week with Newton Conover when he was a coach. I walked up to him at the end and he said, look, North Lincoln is better than people expect. He said, when you see him on the field during like pregame, just warm-ups, he said, it doesn't show you how athletic they really are. He said, they're big. Their offensive line is big. Their defensive line is big. I don't know if either one of you have seen in person Trevally Price for North Lincoln.
No, I haven't.
He's a junior, and he's like 6'6" and a defensive end. He's got South Carolina offers.
Oh, wow.
He's got big school offers. He's real. He's a real deal. He's very good. But that team as a whole, they can catch people off guard because they don't look athletic. They look like a bunch of big farm boys. This is what you would call really their offensive and defensive line, but they're massive and they're very good at what they do. And Coach Basil's got them coached to perfection. They rarely make a mistake, and they always capitalize on the other team's mistakes. So to me, I think they blank Lincoln just because I've said it just based on how many times I've seen Lincoln, and this went back to last year as well. Their offense just cannot move the ball on a consistent basis. They were able to do it last week, but we know what Lake Norman Charter is. They're not really a powerhouse of a football team, offensively or defensively. So I got North Lincoln winning this football game 56-0 over Lincoln, and I can agree with you, Shannon. I think North Lincoln probably is one of the best, maybe 2 or 3 teams in the state. Easily. If not the whole state, the western part of North Carolina, easily. Watch Burns Bulldogs YouTube channel as RS Central, the Hilltoppers, go in to play against Burns. Burns is hosting the Hilltoppers. Terry, do the Hilltoppers have a chance?
Well, I mean, you look at this and you say, hey, RS Central played South Point to a good game, and when South Point Burns played, it was a good game.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to take anything away from RS Central. Can they play tonight? What can you do to stop Pryor?
Yeah.
That's going to be your number one key. If you can stop him, you can be in this game. I'm going to take Burns. It's hard to go against Cleveland County playing anybody out of Rutherford County, but I'm going to take Burns to win. I don't want to say it's going to be a blowout, but I'm going to go 34-21 Burns.
I think
over RS.
Yeah, I think RS Central, that game last week was a wake-up call not only for South Point, but a lot of people saying, hey, this guy's for real. I think what helped them last week is South Point played right into their hands. They're physical against the run, but when you start spreading the field out as Burns is about to do tonight, that's going to pose some problems for the Hilltoppers. I think Burns is homecoming at Burns. There's going to be a big festive atmosphere up there over in Lawndale. So I think Burns wins for the home folk and continue to roll them this year 42-21 over RS.
RS Central's had a very good season thus far. I see no reason really that they don't go into Burns and play Burns tight. But I got Burns winning the ball game. I think Burns' offensive line is very underrated for what they do, because I know Pryor gets a lot of the credit, but it's got to be the guys up front as well that make the holes for him. So I think Burns comes out with a victory today, 28-17 over the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, when Burns played Shelby, you had the Hull kid, Bivens, and Little. I don't know the first names, but Landon and Braxton I don't know the Little's first name. They manhandled sometimes Shelby's defensive front, and that's a big task to do for them, and they did. And I know the score doesn't show it, but there was plays. It's like, daggone, they look pretty good. So yeah, Burns is physical.
Burns is going to be someone's worst nightmare when it comes to the playoff time.
I agree.
They're going to be someone's
100%.
worst nightmare. With that, you can watch on the Shelby Golden Lions YouTube channel. You can listen on WOHS 1390 AM, 101.5 FM, or on WAGY 1320 AM, 107.5 FM. Want to welcome WAGY to the KTC Broadcasting family. As East Rutherford, the Cavaliers are traveling to play against the Shelby Golden Lions. Shannon, does East Rutherford, does their offense get going again this week and can actually put some points on the board against Shelby, or does Shelby just so dominant on both sides of the ball it's a blowout?
I think, I think it will be a blowout. I think East Rutherford, they have a Camp kid who's one of the receivers or running back. He's very talented young man, but he has no help. And Shelby, I think East Rutherford again will move the football, but I think Shelby's just going to be way too physical. And a lot of projections have them number one in the West for the playoffs, and I think tonight, they're going to show why. And easily halftime it'll be probably 42-0. I think this game will go quick. Second half, I say Shelby 56, East Rutherford 0.
This series started way back in 1928 when it was Forest City was named East Rutherford. It's been going on for 91 years. Shelby leads the all-time series 69-21-1. The only tie come way back in 1934, a 7-7 tie. And again, East Rutherford was Forest City at that time. They became East Rutherford in 1962. This series has always been Shelby. Shelby's won the last 14 in it, and tonight they'll make it 15. I think Shelby rolls easily, 51-14.
I'm going to take Shelby to win this one as well. I've got them winning this one 56-7 over East Rutherford. Forest View traveling to play Kings Mountain. You can watch on the Kings Mountain YouTube channel. Kings Mountain, do they beat Forest View today, Terry?
Well, here's your one. When people always talk about what game can change, this series between these two teams comes in at 11-11. Started way back in 1999. First game was they had 2 overtimes game, and Kings Mountain won both of those games in this series. But Kings Mountain comes in here average. They points for 405, points against 87. Kings Mountain is the real deal, but that little hiccup they had against Hunter Huss made everybody think maybe they're not, and we kind of saw that in a couple playoff games from the last couple years with them, and you hope that was their hiccup for this coming year, and they can roll from there and learn from that. But we've also seen them get behind on Monroe, etc. this year.
Yeah.
So, can Forest View be one of them teams? I do not think so, since they're playing at home. And I got Kings Mountain winning this one. I think it's going to be closer than what people think, but I've got Kings Mountain 42, Forest View 28.
Yeah, if Kings Mountain plays like they did against Shelby, they're going to beat a lot of teams from here on out. But if they play like again against Huss, Forest View's going to win this ball game. But I think Kings Mountain playing at home, it's a different place when you play down there at Kings Mountain. So I think they win. I'm going to say 49-7. Easily over Huss.
A lot of people saying, if I'm not mistaken, Shannon, I think you were the ones that said Kings Mountain really beat themselves more than Hunter Huss did.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't think Kings Mountain really is going to beat themselves very often. So I've got Kings Mountain winning this game. Got them winning 35-21 over Forest View. So Kings Mountain coming out at home. And then our last game on our channels, WCSL 1590 AM, 92.3 FM. Pine Lake Prep Pride coming right down the road here to play against the Cherryville Ironmen. Shannon, does Cherryville come out with a victory today?
Unfortunately, I don't think they do. I think Coach Pruitt, he's done a great job. He's done the best with what he's had, and they've only won one game, or excuse me, they have not. Yeah, they've won two games.
Two games.
I'm sorry, 2 games in the conference. Pine Lake Prep's not really that much better in the conference play, but they're better overall. And but I think Pine Lake's going to be too much for Cherryville tonight, and I think they will win 28-17 over the Ironmen.
You come into this game, Pine Lake Prep 4-5, 2-4, Cherryville 2-7, 2-4. This game means a lot for Pine Lake. Cherryville understands, and Coach Pruitt does too. You got to win this one. You got to win next week for us to even have a chance of
And they're
making the
still in it.
playoffs.
I mean,
Oh
they're
yeah,
still-
that's
you know, they're
you're in the
still got a
1A.
shot, yeah.
It can happen.
Yeah.
Cherryville leads this all-time series 5-2. Can Cherryville win tonight? I think Cherryville can be in this game, but I think Pine Lake pulls it out at the end. And I've got Pine Lake 35, Cherryville 24.
Yeah, Pine Lake says right now, 1 AA projection, got them as a 12 seed. So I think Pine Lake Prep is going to go into Cherryville. It's going to play hard. You know what? I'm going to take a chance, and I'm going to say Coach Pruitt has Cherryville ready tonight, and I'm going to take Cherryville to win at home against Pine Lake. I'm going to have Cherryville winning this game close, 28-23 over the Pine Lake Prep Pride. Looking on the board, Calvin. I know, Calvin. I said I was taking a shot, basically a shot in the dark. Sometimes you got to do it. You got to have hot takes.
I think he hit his head. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. This is you know what moves media is hot takes. So you can't be afraid to have a hot take. Speaking of hot takes, is there a game on our channels that you could see where a quote unquote upset would happen?
That's kind of hard to say. If you go west and east, either one of those can win.
Mm-hmm.
Mountain Island, Thomas Jefferson, either one of those. Newton, Maiden, either one of those.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm looking for an upset, I think it would have to be, and if I had to pick one, it would be Chase beating South Point.
Yeah.
That would be the one that I would pick, because Chase is not supposed to. They believe they can.
Mm-hmm.
As Shannon says, the farm up there.
Yeah.
If they bring all their pigs and all their cows and everything else they got down, I mean, they might have a chance.
Yeah.
But that would be the game.
Yeah, for me, I got this text from Stephen Walker. He's affiliated with the Burns football. He's like, for a side note, you guys, the UNC commit for South Point hung it up for the year and did not play against RS. They were back down to their third string quarterback.
Well,
you want to change your pick?
No.
Oh, Terry.
No.
Last call. Going once.
Yeah, seriously. So, as far as the games that are on the broadcast air tonight, the only one really that would be an upset would be Central beating Burns. Because I don't think physically, I don't think East Rutherford beat Shelby. I don't think Lincoln's going to beat North Lincoln.
No.
I don't think Forest View. But that RS Central team, they have 3 sophomore running backs that are pretty decent, or pretty good running backs.
Yeah.
And that could pose a problem for Burns. But again, Burns will spread the field, but that could be the upset game if there is one. If Burns, especially if they're overlooking RS.
Well, here's the thing as well. I can agree with the RS Central being an upset because Burns is at home. Another one, though, is if Kings Mountain comes out and plays against themselves, Forest View has a chance.
Forest View ain't bad. They're not
bad.
No, they're not bad.
They're not bad, but I mean, we know just how good Kings Mountain is. But if, like you said, if they come out here, maybe get complacent,
we just show up and win.
Yeah, we're just going to show up at home and win. I don't think that, because this ain't the Forest View of years past. This Forest View team's very good.
Yeah.
And then just overall on the board, this is another shot in the dark. This is another shot in the dark. Hate me all you want. Freedom at home over Watauga. Some people would say it might never happen.
It won't.
Some people say I'm crazy. That might be just what it takes for an upset to happen. And with that, that's how we're going to close our show. I know we've only got about a minute left, but we really covered all of these games. I'll go over these one more time, though, the games around the area, that are going to be on our broadcast. WLON 1050 AM, 107.5 FM. The Lincolnton Wolves traveling to play at the North Lincoln Knights. On the Watch Burns Bulldogs YouTube channel, the RS Central Hilltoppers are going to Burns to play against the Burns Bulldogs. Shelby Golden Lions YouTube channel, WOHS 1390 AM, 101.5 FM, and introducing WAGY, new member of the KTC Broadcasting family, 1320 AM, 107.5 FM. East Rutherford Cavaliers going to play against the Shelby Golden Lions. Tune in for that one as well. Tune in if you're in that area as well. WAGY, let them know that you're listening. You're excited that they're a part of the KTC Broadcasting family now. Also, Kings Mountain YouTube channel, Forest View will be going to face Kings Mountain, so Kings Mountain at home. And then listen also on WCSL 1590 AM, 92.3 FM, Pine Lake Prep Pride. It's a lot of P's. It could be a tongue twister. The Pine Lake Prep Pride coming down here to play against the Cherryville Ironmen. All of the games are on the radio stations. If you cannot get them in your surrounding area, just go to ktcbroadcasting.com, click Listen Live, and just click on whichever one of the tabs you want to listen to. For Terry Reinhart, Shannon Allen, I'm Hunter Yancey, and thank you for listening to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. Also, one thing that we want to say is thank you to Mitchum's Kitchen for being our dinner sponsor tonight for every Friday night, also being our breakfast sponsor for In the Morning. Big thank you, guys. Was your food good or what?
It's
good.
fun, yeah.
704-276-1155, Robin and Carol.
Absolutely.
Terry's going to pay the bill for everybody.
Yes.
Come on,
Hey,
Terry's
thank
on
you, Terry.
Terry Reinhart.
All right, and with that, we're going to get out of here. Everybody enjoy
Good
Friday
watch,
Night Football. You're listening to ktcbroadcasting.com.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price. With names like The Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General, and Travelers. Drop by the office today at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
Now through December 15th, get up to $1,500 in instant rebates with the purchase of qualifying American Standard equipment from Bill Shuford Heating and Air in Shelby. But that's not all. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months. Come on in or call for all the details at 704-484-0025. Again, up to $1,500 in instant rebates on qualifying American Standard equipment and special 0% financing up to 72 months. Bill Shuford Heating and Air, 213 Campbell Street in Shelby. Online at BillShufordHVAC.com. Fall cleanup time is here. Be ready with a stop at Cleveland Lumber Company in Shelby. Check out their line of leaf blowers by Weed Eater, Black & Decker, and the Makita X2 leaf blower. Buy the Makita X2 leaf blower and get 4 free 50 AH batteries. That's a $240 value. Gas or electric Weed Eater.